We know where attacks are coming from. These people has a lot of wisdom to know what we need to do in each crisis, in every moment, in each circumstance. That's why I congratulate all of the people, the police force of Venezuela, National Bolivarian Police, police of the municipalities, because in an immediate way, once the attack was confirmed, the attack to the electrical system that shut down in Venezuela in March 2019, immediately plans were carried out, Centella plan, to patrol, protect, and take care of the population and provide fundamental services. It was automatic. Plans are elaborated and activated. Our people, as everybody watching knows, came out to work. We saw it in media broadcasts, national and international. Once again, I have to say it, without jealousy of anybody, teleSUR shined again in communities, in the streets, showing to our people, working, activated, active people. We had valuable lessons from this. I was talking to Diosdado Cabello, Vice President of Internal Policy, Justice and Peace, Internal Minister, Vice President of Political Sovereignty, National Integrity, Vladimir Padrino, Vice President of Communication, Philosopher Ñañez, Minister of Transportation, and a whole day we were in a meeting with permanent communication, meetings, evaluation work. The Vice President left early, along the Electricity Minister, Jorge Marquez, to liderate the process of recovery of the heart of the electrical system of Venezuela in the early hours. And I was saying that we have watched this film before. An electrical war was prepared in several stages, but the most brutal of all of them, with this cybernetic character, was in March 7th, April, and June in 2019, in the Guaido era. Everybody remembers the date, March the 7th, in the afternoon. I remember I was with Celia walking and exercising. By then, we had a system of exercise and work. And I got the news, and we activated immediately. It was the era of Guaido conspiration, a conspiration that failed. Directed from the United States, financed by the United States. Then we did some research, and the cyber attack was to the heart of Guri and the heart of teams that direct through computer all of the systems of advanced technology of the electrical system, including generation, transmission, all of them were penetrated by viruses that left a track, and this tracking prints led to Washington, the United States. We took some time to diagnose how much this virus had reached in Guri, but to stabilize the services, electrical services again. It was attacked not only in March 7, 8, and 9 in a brutal way, in a surprise, in an unexpected way, but in April, before the attempted coup d'etat, there was also an electrical similar situation. Then this process of generation stabilized. At that time, you remember, I don't know if we have it to show it, how this puppet of imperialism, who was at the head of all this conspiracy, in March 7th, 2 hours after this cyber attack of the brain of Goody, he tweeted the threat. Let's see the threat. And it reads, Venezuela knows clearly that light comes when usurpation ends. Let's move on. During our tour in the South, we look for support to address this crisis. The blockade of process, we will succeed with mobilization. See you on Saturday in the streets. It was Thursday. They called for a mobilization to Miraflores, and Guaidó said, on Saturday I will sit in my seat in Miraflores. A violent attack to power with the support of the same people. The North American Empire, the European allies, and the Lima Group. Thanks to workers and advisors and the support of our armed force and the brightest minds of our country, we could stop this virus and this cyber attack. And that Saturday, that they thought they were going to attack and cause mobilizations. That Saturday, we reestablished the electrical supply, and a huge mass mobilization occurred in Miraflores, but it was mobilization of the Miraflores people to defend their tranquility, their power, the people's power. That's the truth. Just that simple. They were hurting, threatening, and even before, Diosdado Cabello, minister, remembered before that attack on March 7, 2019, people from Miami, influencers by then, announced what they call a huge shutdown, a blackout, which was a criminal attack against the electrical system, a war against the country, against the people, underestimating our people, believing that they had it already done, everything, underestimating the consciousness of our people, the capacity that our civical police Union has to face situations, no matter how difficult they are, and overcome them, underestimating the commitment that the whole country has with the right to peace, tranquility, sovereignty, the future. This movie, I've watched it before, and I know how it ends. A happy end for the people of Venezuela. This criminal attack of today has characteristics that are different. It has been an attack again to Guri. Right now, we have the mechanisms used in Guri, inside of Guri, and in the surrounding areas. How was it done? And I won't say more because we're actually carrying out an investigation right now to make justice. They attacked transmission systems, but due to the protections we had over the generation system, particularly in Guri, 4 years ago, they couldn't reach the heart of the system, which is Guri. They bet all they had. And specialists assert that are, along with the vice president and the minister, Marquez, assert that this attack planned and the magnitude of what they created can be qualified as father and the mother of all the attacks carried out against Guri, with only one purpose: destroy Guri. It's an attack full of revenge, full of hate, that comes from fascist tendencies that are part of political systems that try to be political opposition, and the people identify them clearly. People identify them and know which is their origin. And police investigations are advancing immediately, and they are going to be deepened. What I can assert that we were talking about in the meeting, and precisely I wrote it down here, this attack was the father and mother of the attacks against the system. The protection systems we built from a technological point of view have worked, and we have protected Guri. We have preserved Guri. There are technical details that I can't give you. I don't know if in further days, because one provides technical details, and there's a headquarters of war that I'm sure is in the United States of America. You militaries, high-ranking militaries who have studied military arts and science, the art of war, you know that behind this there's a strategic plan and a lot of money invested. Behind this there is hate and revenge of fascists. And if you provide a detail you can't give, it won't be the first time they counterattack, as they did in March 2019, that they carried out physical attacks with some kind of rocket missiles that hurt some machines that could cause a catastrophe. Because around those machines where there was a group of workers, their hate and their desire of revenge has no limits. But I can say that protection designed and established have defended and preserved Curie for a country and the electrical national system. Now we're going to normalize the situation step by step with guarantees and security. Luckily, we have earned experience to act, and our people, I thank you for your trust, your support, your consciousness, and your commitment for peace, your moral and spiritual strength. To our people, I thank you, your blessings, your prayings, but also a people, more than a people of blessings and prayings, these are people of action. And from the early morning, with only one call, Centella plan was activated. Not only that, not only the defensive system, but also the popular system to defend territorial peace. So today I can assert we are better prepared and in better conditions than in 2019 when we faced these attacks. It was proven that we must thank the transportation systems, motor taxis, which were activated. I have a report from the supermarket system. More than 90% of the supermarkets of the country were active with their power plants. 100% of popular municipality markets were active. And trade also was activated. Workers were going to their job, but they went to work quietly with optimism. The health system, that time in 2019, we suffered a lot, but today just the fundamental, practically 100% of the health system worked. And I was even surprised that bone marrow transplants were carried out normally. They continued with their chirurgical plan. I thank to all the staff of the hospital, nurses, doctors. It was incredible, the morals of our people, nationalist moral and Venezuelan moral, that we have seen today here. The mass media, again, were active. Radio and television stations. And we are reestablishing internet services, also enterprises, entrepreneurs. This damage has a social component in the life and peace of the people. Even in Friday, when people are thinking of sharing, dancing, going out, It has provokes a damage with a social, psychological character, but also an economic damage. I told to the vice president that we must calculate the economic damage in each sector, because in 2019 they caused a lot of damage to the country, the conspiracies of this coward Juan Guaido. But justice will reach him someday. I know what I'm saying. Someday that'll happen. They hurt, they cause the damage, and then deceive. I said it in a lot of public squares. They cause the damage and then deceive. First thing in the morning, surprising, minutes before this attack, some people were given opinion that is shown in social media. Reviewers of these communicators who serve extreme right, 8 minutes before 4:48 p.m. a.m. in the morning, the time of the attack, 8 minutes before, one of those reviewers was posting that Venezuela had no power, electrical power. They had the history already. During the whole campaign, electoral campaign, an account called Anonymous. We know who operated it and who financed it. I won't say more. Anonymous account serving the hate of war. This account threatened the electrical national system. We have now one of the tweets the Anonymous post. That tweet is of August 7th and reads, "We excuse the Venezuelan people for the attacks that it will receive." There's an account of the extreme right that serves fascist hate and works along with the CIA. Professor Moncada explained it in the National Assembly these days. I denounced it in the electoral campaign. In each state I visited, they attacked a tower. And if I was arriving in Maracaibo, they shut down power in Maracaibo. There are a lot of people detained, imprisoned about this, something that is not very well known in public opinion. On Friday, July 26, on Friday, July 26, Yanes was captured. A band was captured which came from Colombia that had the plans and tools and brought the money to burn and destroy the substation of Ureña. They were captured. They are imprisoned, facing justice. Half of them Colombian, and the other half Venezuelans from the border. belonging to paramilitary groups linked to Álvaro Uribe Espera and Iván Duque. If that attack would have been carried out after the damage, they would have said what they say, that because of lack of maintenance, this exploded. They were captured with a plan written and the instruments to cause this attack. I denounced it at the time. The purpose of the attack of the substation was shut down the western part of the country, Barina and more of municipalities, until Taracuy. We could avoid it and capture the people who carried it out. And the attack was going to be so catastrophic that it would have been difficult to reestablish electricity for Sunday. I denounced it and I presented proofs. They were captured. And members of the paramilitary group that received orders from Álvaro Uribe. On Sunday, July 28, we could, due to popular and military intelligence, on Sunday, July 28, we could avoid an attack in the center of the country against some towers that wanted to cause a blackout that day, Elections Day, and then also avoided another attack near Guri that was going to be committed at 8 p.m. That same Sunday. God with us. God and the people with us. And I explained it a lot during these days. What would have happened in Venezuela if these people achieved their purpose of attacking on Sunday 8 p.m. and causing a blackout in the country and activate the terrorist little commandos they activated to attack, murder, burn. What they wanted to cause? A bloodbath that I denounced and frightened some people in the world. God is with us because we are right. We are defending the secret cause, the Bolivar's cause, independence cause. We could avoid those attacks, and then a cyber attack came over the transmission systems and the electoral council. And then you know the story. We said it before it happened. They don't want elections. They want to cause a bloodbath, a previous civil war, to ask for a military intervention of the United States in Venezuela. We said it before, during that day, and after that day, Sunday, July 28. I said it to the people in the early morning of 29. I explained this. There were people who believed without seeing, as our Lord Jesus Christ said to Thomas when he showed the prints of crucifixion and resurrection. He said, blessed those who believed without seeing, which were the majority. The ones who today granted peace and granted peace with the right to the future. Bless those who believed without seeing. And now I say today, more than ever, August 30, day of fascist criminal attack against the electrical system, I say blessed those who saw and now believe, know the truth, that against Venezuela there's a permanent conspiracy, an attack of a fascist sector allied with extreme right, international extreme right, and with the United States. And they can't defeat us yesterday, nor even yesterday, nor today, nor never. And they can't deal with our courage, our patriotism, and our love, because they are moved for hate and revenge over, but we are moved by love, by the desire of harmony and the will to build this country for everybody. I said it recently. On Tuesday at noon, I announced the renewal of the government. I ratified several ministers like Ñañez, Velasco. I named new ministers as Diosdado and some other fellow mates, young people at the head of fundamental works, finance, water, public, women, sports. I created a new government. 50% of it was renovated. A good team. And Venezuela liked it because people, what they want is that we work and advance. But fascism called for Wednesday an activity of mobilization since it was August 28. And as everybody knows in Venezuela, in spite that abroad they're presented as huge mobilizations, in Spanish television, Spanish press shows it as a huge mobilization, and they don't show the huge mobilization of the Chavez people, which are spectacular. They tried on Tuesday and partially achieved it, to shut down the country. And I said it, in a record time we recovered transmission because they didn't affect generation. These are attacks like a guerrilla front war against the transmission systems. And immediately the electrical team, workers, and Marcus at the head of this recovered the electrical system that Tuesday during the night. Diosdado was opening as a minister. This kind of attack was to cause lack of electrical system for more time. And on August 28, caused problems, but it was recovered immediately. And everybody knows that on August 28, in the streets of Venezuela, we carried out huge mobilizations of Venezuelan people. Peaceful, because when Chavez go out to the streets, there is peace, tolerance, respect to everybody is granted. And in each point, called for this fascist tendencies already defeated. Everybody knows it, from Maracaibo to San Felix. That fascist extremist tendency that wants revenge and hate is alone. And in Caracas, everybody knows that a bunch of followers of these fascist tendencies, I respect them, but they know, they very well know, since due to their faces, they very well know that they are over. And I talked to the people here in Miraflores. Thousands, more than 100,000 people arrived. An enormous mobilization. But in international media, they hide these mobilizations. They can hide it, but in the streets, we are walking and working and feel the owners of the country, because the sovereign people are the owners of the country. This version, Guaidó 2.0, that they want to impose with this person who is hidden, González Urrutia, that doesn't even show his face, and orders to kill and murder. And this fascist lady, Mrs. Machado, were over in a record time. If we compare it with the Guaidó phenomenon that lasts like a year. And then Americans took him to live there, which is shameful for a president, the people who called him president. Now this version, Guaidó 2.0, was over in a record time, because Venezuelan people want peace, tranquility, progress, recovering economy, recovering social rights. These people want changes and transformation with peace, stability, democracy, independence, and sovereignty. People don't want to be slaves of Americans or Europeans. I mean European elites. A different thing is the European people that we love. Spanish people, Portugal, Italy, from France. We admire them and we love them, and they live amongst us. I told the people there in a conversation we had on Wednesday, comparing it with the movie The Exorcist, how the priest of The Exorcist trusts and puts the crucifix down, and in that moment, the exorcist, the devil shoots the priest and kills him. And I told to the people, let's not neglect ourselves. And I said, now that they are defeated, the screams and desperation and hate is going to exacerbate, and they're going to try to do the worst, because we're facing fascists. Who could trust the incarnation of Hitler and Mussolini if they don't respect the Constitution, they don't respect the electoral power, nor the Supreme Court of Justice, not the prosecution or moral power. They don't respect laws. They think they're over laws and institutions and over people and citizens. They believe they are super powerful. In the history of humanity, how do you call that? Fascism, Nazism, extremism. I told to the people, everybody ready, as I always say. Steel nerves, calm and mobilization of the Civical Police Union. And now I say work. We have the video. On Wednesday, I said it, in the immense mobilization of the people in the streets. Let's watch this video. They're over. La Sayona is totally over today. La Sayona is entirely over. But why? Because she lives for lies and ego. She believes she's over the law and the Constitution. She believes that counting on the support of the American empire is enough. She, called by the Venezuelan people fascist Sayona, terrorist. She knows she's part of a satanic pact with Americans, with the Satanic Church of California and Detroit. And one of the members of that pact is Elon Musk. 30 days after, where is Elon Musk? Knocked out. Venezuelan people knocked him out and knocked satanics out. But it's the most dangerous moment. When they are weakened and defeated is when they make stuff. That's why they tried to attack the country and shut it down. But our team, in a record time, detected the attack and reestablished the electrical system in the whole country. More dangerous because their ego exacerbates. They believe they are superior because they have blue blood. They're fascists. They think they're above Constitution and law. And they think that since they have the support of imperialist elites of the United States, the support of Borrell in Europe, the support of extreme right of Milei, of Álvaro Uribe, of Iván Duque, they think that the Venezuelan people is going to give up. Never. Nobody gives up here. We're going forward here to build the Venezuela of peace, of justice. On Tuesday, it was solved faster than today. Today, we have a reestablishing process, secure step by step. I have the Vice President, Marquez Minister, with workers and professionals. There's in Guyana and Goody. And I working along with the Civical Police team, taking care of all of the details, all of them step by step, to reestablish normality, and that our people can enjoy the right of peace and stability, permanent stability, the right to work, to produce, to create, to move on. We are triumphing over fascism. We are winning over hate and revenge. But we cannot postpone justice. Justice must be done. As a head of state that I am, using my constitutional powers, I demand for justice. Justice for the intellectual and physical authors of this attack justice. In the name of a whole nation, I demand for justice, to consolidate peace, for the path of justice. Here I am, ahead of the team. Strength and energy won't be lacking. And that is why me, a man of God, as I am, I said to our Lord, give us all of your blessings, put your blessings over the Venezuelan people. We're still fighting because we will triumph. God bless you. Here I am in my parochial, Mall El Valle. I'm heading towards Miraflores. And people here getting ready because it's Friday. And the body knows it. My parochial. Super active people since the early morning, and a criminal attack against the electrical system can't destroy it. Varal Avenue, almost 6 a.m. to meet with our team and communicate with people, our heroical and beautiful people, powerful, and has trust on its president.